John, wonderful to see you. And as a massive fan of yours, I've always wondered where the name John Legend came from. Can we start at that, please? It's a wonderful name. Did you choose it?
Yeah,
Was it your name by birth?
it was not my name by birth. I was born John Stevens. It was a nickname that the first person who called me that was a guy named J.I.V. He's a spoken word artist from Chicago. I met him when I was working with Kanye on the College Dropout. And J.I.V. just started calling me the legend. And he heard my voice. He heard that old school quality of my voice. He heard our ancestors in my voice, and he decided he would call me the legend. And then that morphed into John Legend. And then it just became a nickname that some of my friends around me started calling me. And eventually I decided to take it on as a stage name. I knew that it might be a bit audacious to take on a stage name Legend, even though I wasn't even signed as an artist yet, even though I wasn't, even though I didn't have a record out yet, but I decided I would call myself that and try to live up to that name.
And you have. You mentioned Kanye briefly, John. Before the release of your debut album, you had collaborated with Kanye, with Alicia Keys. Those are two that come to mind. How was it to work with them? Alicia, I'm a huge fan of hers too. Would you talk me through that?
Well, that was the first time I ever met Alicia Keys. She was working on a song with Kanye and a songwriter named Harold Lilly. And it was the song You Don't Know My Name. And Kanye sampled a song in You Don't Know My Name, and he wanted me to come in and kind of recreate the voices that the sample was doing. The woo, woo. So he had me come in and sing those parts and introduce me to Alicia, introduce me to Harold Lilly, and said, you know, this is the new artist I've signed. His name is John Legend. And I'm sure Alicia was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But, you know, eventually Alicia and I became friends. I opened for her tour, the Diary of Alicia Keys tour in 2005. We've written together for her projects. And that was the beginning of our friendship and our collaboration back then.
Well, the new album, Legend, is a double album. Naming an album after yourself is a big gesture, and that must mean a lot to you. What's your inspiration behind the album? Is there a specific theme to it, John?
Yeah, I figured I would only do this once, you know, naming the album after my own stage name, naming it Legend. And this felt special enough to do it. This is a double album. It's a new beginning for me. I'm at a new label after being at Columbia and Sony for my entire career up till now. And it felt like it was time to make that statement. This is me. This is a reflection of who I am, all my inspirations, all my influences, all my stories and experiences. I'm pouring it into this album, and I want to self-title it. So I'm excited that Legend is out in the world, and it really is me. And I'm excited with the response that we're getting from the fans.
One of my personal favorite John Legend songs is Good Night with Blood Pop, a monster hit in India. We still play it on the radio, John. Talk about that collab and what that song means to you.
Oh, that song was so cool. It was kind of just like a fun song we did in between projects. I had already put out Darkness and Light, and then my next project was going to be a Christmas album. But I wrote this fun song with Blood Pop, and I really loved it and was so excited for it to be out in the world. So we just put it out as a single on its own. And it really did well around the world. And I'm so glad it makes people feel good. It's just a fun party song. And we've got quite a few of those on this new album too, like All She Wanna Do and Dope and Strawberry Blush. And it's good to have a song like that where you can dance and feel good. And A Good Night is certainly that.
I'm going to come back to the debut album. All of Me was a huge hit globally, John. The album itself, Get Lifted. Your memories of making that epic track and album?
Well, All of Me I wrote with Toby Gad. He's a great songwriter. We just sat in a room together on the piano and started coming up with ideas together. And my manager earlier that week had told me, you should write a song for Chrissy that's in the same vein as She's Always a Woman, and a song by Billy Joel. And, so I listened to that song by Billy Joel and thought about what those lyrics meant, and then tried to write a similar concept of a song to my fiance at the time, who I hadn't married yet. And I wrote this song with Toby, and I thought it was a great song. I didn't know it was going to be, as important in my life as it ended up being. But eventually, as I lived with the song even more and played it for more people, I really got the sense, oh, this is going to be really big and special. And I sang it at our wedding for the first time in a live performance. It was at our wedding. And we shot the video that week at Lake Como, where we got married in Italy. And of course, the song has gone on to be played at countless weddings and celebrations, and it's become one of the biggest love songs in history. And I'm so grateful for that song. I people ask me if I think I'll ever be able to top that, and probably not. It's hard to top one of the biggest love songs in history, but it's been such a gift for me and my family. And I'm so glad that so many people still love it all around the world.
You're an established artist worldwide. You definitely have made an impression in India. Can we Indian fans look forward to a John Legend tour to our country, or just a concert maybe?
Absolutely. We're working on it right now. We have some things in the works that I think we'll be able to announce soon. So I'm excited to come to India finally. I haven't been yet, and it's been too long. How have I not been there yet? I need to come soon, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's beautiful. My last question is, what format of release do you prefer to go about? I mean, look at this incredible body of work, John. Full-length studio albums, 5 live albums, 2 video albums, 3 extended plays, 39 singles, 2 promo singles. Which is the format that is closest to your heart?
I'm still an album man. I really put a lot of attention into albums, and I like what albums mean in your career, because they're kind of a statement of where you are in your life, where you are creatively for that time period. And I try to put one out every couple of years. And, I put a lot of care into the sequencing and the art and everything that goes around it. So I'm still very into the album making process, and I love releasing albums. And this time it's even bigger, a double album. But yeah, I really care about making great albums, and I put a lot of care into it.
John, I really appreciate your time. From all your fans in India, can't wait to see you here. Big love, much love to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A pleasure talking to you.
94.3 Radio 1.